This is so exciting. I'm your host, Steph. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for coming and tuning in and tuning into my show. I have very, very, very special guests, very clear, dear and close to my heart.
Very
Juan.
close. Hey guys.
If y'all didn't know, this is my significant other. Um, his social security number is
A B C D E F G.
it's supposed to be number so.
Oh,
Yeah, you were lying. Okay, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about some relationship advice, what we think has worked in our relationship, and just kind of our pointers and our point of views and our opinions. Don't take this obviously the wrong way, or like we're trying to tell you something straightforward. You should do this or do this instead. So yeah, we have some questions, some just advice that we're going to be going over. It's going to start kind of a little bit, kind of in the first dating stages when you're trying to get to know each other. You're in that talking stage, or you just started dating and you're a few months in, and some questions that you have that are pretty normal in a relationship. And we'll be sharing a little bit of our struggle. So yeah, we're ready to get started.
bow, 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 bow.
By the way, this is Juan's second time on camera. He's
Yes.
doing pretty good. He got some good. Yeah. You
Yeah,
excited?
I am. I just act like not a million people are going to watch this.
Not a, I have faith a million people will watch it. Okay. So let's roll in. So the first question is, if someone just started dating somebody or just started talking to somebody, the first question that's very, very popular and common is, how do I know this is the right person? Is this the right person for me?
Okay, I got you. Real quick, I just want to clarify before answering this question. I didn't mean that not a lot of million people are going to watch this, as in like not a million people. I'm saying for my own sanity.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
It makes it a little bit easier for me. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a
It's
billion.
okay.
But like
Trillion.
yeah, a trillion.
Amen.
I love that. So okay, so the question being, how do I know this is the right person?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think one of the things that comes to mind when concerning if this is the person that you should be with or not is if your values basically kind of line up with their values, or
Yeah.
the values kind of like are pretty similar.
Yeah.
I would say that it's pretty important to have similar values. Like
Yeah.
if you take someone that values their family versus people that value materialistic stuff,
Yeah.
like bumping heads for sure.
Yeah. I agree with that. So to kind of contradict your point, but I agree 100% with his point. I think it's my biggest thing. I think having values and those things that sync up is pretty nice, but before I started giggling about everything, I think having your values lined up is very important. But if a person would like to change and not for the relationship or for the other person, or they're trying to put up an act and it's actually sincere and honest, then it could work out. So if that person, let's say the partner goes to church and the other partner doesn't, and this partner is genuinely wanting to go now to church and is not doing it just for an act or just for the other person to like them or just to be liked, then I think it could work, because that was actually an issue that me and Juan had. So this is spilling the tea right here. Uh, so we dated, we broke up, and all of this is to say that I prayed about our relationship. I said, Lord, I don't know if this is the right person for me or not. And then literally we broke up the next day. So
War noises in the background.
so we broke up, and within that time, I was kind of sad and everything. And then me and Juan remained friends, and that obviously was not a good idea. We could not remain friends. Looking back at it now, and even then we knew. So we stayed friends, and then it came out of him to tell me, hey, I want to go to church and everything. And keep in mind, I didn't even know this was an issue that we were going to have, or that we had. I didn't know me having a relationship with the Lord and going to church and all those things were going to be an issue for a relationship, because I didn't know that he didn't have any faith at all. And then it came out of him, and I just kind of played it day by day. and just kind of saw that he genuinely wanted a relationship with the Lord, and I saw it within the first day. So I think that's my little 2 cents on that. So going with all of that being said, how do you feel about people that are like, I still want to be friends with my ex?
Oh, well, first and foremost,
Or should they still be friends with their ex?
well, if you don't already know that that's a bad idea and a red flag, then I can spell it out a little bit here.
That's a bigger issue.
Yeah, that's a really big issue. So it's not a good idea for you to remain friends with your ex at all in any kind of way whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's a relationship that ended for a reason,
Yeah.
whatever that reason is. And so if that relationship's kind of ending, why would you keep that person around? You're
Yeah.
trying to move on with your life. You're trying to move on with your future partner.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep something that didn't work
Yeah.
in your life. And not just that, but like, even though you're not intentionally trying to create distrust, it's going to cause an awkward and
Yeah.
just like really bad energy for like your relationship that you are having.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of the same thing. Having your ex as a friend is just not a good idea, period, because it makes the other person feel very insecure. It's just a lot of questions for their partner, and it's not fair at the end of the day for you to do that to your partner. If they're not doing it to you and you wouldn't like it, then you shouldn't be doing it. I think a big point thing is to always try to put yourself in the other position. How would you feel, or
Yeah.
that being done to you? How would you feel about it being done to you? So, yeah.
Yeah. Like trying to change perspectives or whatever.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about people having their ex or swimwear models, or just those attractive people, or the people that go to the gym, or big soul, or just big booty? How do you feel about
Big booty.
how do you how do you feel about the other partner following those kind of people on social media?
Well, I think that is also not a good thing for you to do.
Red flag, run.
Yeah, literally.
If you
Six
go to that
Flags.
man's following list and he's following a bunch of girls that go to the gym with a big booty, or doing some stuff on IG or wherever,
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely doesn't have his priorities straight. Well, if you're dating, of course, or
Yeah,
just even prior, it's kind of
that kind of tells you a little
weird. Yeah,
bit,
that's a weird like
but they can
pastime.
change, and you could also talk about
Yeah,
that.
definitely. But definitely is something that you shouldn't be doing if you're in a
Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah.
because you kind of already have what it is that you want
Yeah.
in front of you. This is what you're actively going after.
Yeah.
And not just it being disrespectful,
Yeah.
of course, but also at the same time, like, why are you looking somewhere else when
Yeah.
what you claim you want is right in
Right
front of
from you.
you?
Yeah.
Chase after what you want.
Yeah.
You want to start running so I can chase after you?
No, I don't want to run. I don't like running. So, no, I'm more of a sit down, relax kind of gal. But I think, to say something else to add on to that, I think it becomes also a thing that your partner starts feeling very insecure. And subconsciously, you kind of start comparing your partner to this other person.
Yeah,
And then you almost start telling your partner, why do you not have a six pack? Why do you not dress like this? Whatever. Or you start giving them pointers, and it's just kind of like, who are you watching? Like, who dresses like that? Who looks like that? And so now your partner feels not good enough for you or for the other person, vice versa. So I think it's that too, having not just respect for them, but actually loving them, and being careful about those things, and just love them for who they are and what they are. And I don't think you should be looking at any other person, and then it can just turn into something
definitely.
else. You can fall into other things, because it kind of goes into deeper issues of looking at other people or whatever, and now it's gone into this long thing, and now you're looking at people a way that you shouldn't be looking at them.
Definitely.
So next thing is, how can you trust your partner? How did you know you could trust me, or how did you learn to trust me?
Okay. Yeah. So I think the best way I can explain it is kind of like change almost. I know this kind of sounds weird, but
Yeah.
so if I know that I can trust you with a penny, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Here you go. Here goes a penny, and then I'm like, hey, can you give me
Thanks.
my penny back? It's like, okay, cool, thanks. Like I know I could trust you with the penny, So let me give you a dime. So I'm like, hey, here goes a dime. Well, let me get my dime back. And like, oh, okay, cool. I got my dime back.
So this is how you can get rich, guys. Listen,
Yeah. I only got $10. So
I'm $10 richer.
so I'm giving you small things to kind of trust you with,
Yeah,
and you're showing that I can trust you with
yeah,
it. So I think trust starts off pretty small, and as time progresses and your partner shows that they're trustworthy with the small things, then you can start to trust them with the bigger stuff.
yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think an opposite perspective is for me, I'm very, what's the word? It was very hard for me to trust people, and trusting Juan was even harder because I saw him. I was like, this man's too nice. This man's gonna go psycho at some point. He is going to kidnap me one of these days. We're gonna be going on a date. He's gonna be like, let me pick you up. Where do you live? And he's gonna know all of these things, and I'm gonna go missing, and nobody's gonna know, right? And yeah, that was kind of my overthinking as well. So for me, it was very hard. And so moving on to a relationship, he started telling me, babe, come on, you have to trust me. We just have to, work on these things. You need to talk to me, whatever, whatever. I was like, this chismoso just wants to know my whole life. And so I wasn't gonna stand for that. And so I was like, don't be trying to tell me to tell you my stuff. Why do you want to know? And so as our relationship progressed, I was gonna say progressed, but as a relationship
Progress.
I forgot how to say the word, honestly.
Progressed.
Progressed. I was able to know that I could trust him, right? And so I started seeing like little small things. I was like, why is he doing that? At the beginning. And then later on, I was like, oh, he's genuinely doing that. Okay, yes. And so one day I remember I was like, I can't do this anymore by myself. And this wasn't too long ago, but not too recent. I was like, I can't do this by myself. And so I just spilled everything. I said, this is what's going on. This has been going on, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, and kind of growing up, this is like more of a background. But before I say that, yeah, I just kind of started spilling everything out to him. And I was like, wow, that felt so nice. And from there, our relationship grew so much because I was able to talk to him about so many things and telling him so many things, and just kind of going from there. Our relationship got a lot better because then he knew why I was acting the way I was acting, or why certain things would trigger me, or why I didn't like certain things, because I was able to tell all of these big things. Well, back to what I was saying, growing up was, hey, don't tell people this, or don't tell people this, or don't talk to them about things that go on at home, or don't talk to them about our family things, and they didn't mean any wrong with this, but that's just how I grew up. It was, hey, don't tell people this because they could use this for whatever, and that was their own trust issues, right? So that got projected onto me. So even people doing me wrong made that so much more worse for me because I already had that mentality growing up, and then people even doing me more wrong than equal to this big thing of don't trust people. So, and then it just kind of progressed, and going on with our relationship, knowing the things that he was doing wasn't an act, because there were some things that were just like, whoa, regular people just don't do that, or people that are faking it would not do that. And then kind of having that difference of, okay, let me get out of this overthinking, or let me get out of this mentality, and kind of put yourself as an outside perspective and saying, okay, would X person do this? And if you're sitting there like, nah, they wouldn't do that, then yeah, you have a pretty decent person next to you. So hopping on to the next thing, this is a little bit more of the advice. So how do you think our relationship progressed from being more open-minded and trying things for the other person, and how it helped our relationship?
Okay. It progressed tremendously.
Yeah.
I think being able to take a step back and knowing that your partner likes this specific thing,
Yeah.
and taking a step back, and instead of being like really caught up in the idea of like, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
This isn't something that interests me. This isn't something I would normally go out of my way to watch or listen or anything like that.
Yeah.
So being able to take a step back and choose intimacy, because that
Yeah.
is what you're doing. You're choosing intimacy,
Yeah.
and choosing intimacy over whatever it speaks volumes, and
Mm,
I think that really gets translated over to your partner. Makes
yeah.
definitely makes you feel good for sure.
Yeah. So, quick example of that is Juan loves Asia stuff or Korean stuff or Japanese stuff.
Chopin.
He loves Japan. He might as well be from Japan. So, so one of the big things, it was like 3 weeks ago, and even before that, I love very, what is it? Not crime shows, very action or funny or not funny, rom coms, those kind of things, right? Anime is not my thing at all. Not, no. Okay, so Juana loves anime. And so I kind of tried to start watching some anime for him. I've tried 3 times. I just, y'all, I like you either a show has to have my attention 100% of the time. Kind of like Gossip Girl. But
We were watching Spy Family for a little bit.
yeah, we were watching Spy Fam for a little bit. But yeah, all of that goes to say that I try to do things for him too, and it's not just of me, and like let's do what I want to do, and do something that I enjoy, and the other person just being like, yeah, let's just do what you do. I think you trying to put in your 2 cents of like, hey, I would like to do this, or hey, I like watching this, and the other person just being like, hey, what do you want to do, or what do you want to watch, or what would you like to watch? And they're kind of like, no, it's whatever you want to do. It's like, try to convince them, if you, especially if you feel like you're only doing things that you want to do or the other partner wants to do, and being very considerate. But even like 3 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? Let's go to Chinatown. So we went to Chinatown. Okay. Went to the Asian market. He was having a blast. He was like, oh my gosh. Ah. Yeah. I ended up grabbing a bunch of snacks and they taste so bad. And one of them were like some chips, bro. And it smelled like dead fish.
Yeah, like seafood or something.
It
It was
smelled
kind of
like
weird.
dead fish and it was so nasty. It was pink. Okay. To clarify, it was pink and it was like so cute and it looked like it was going to be crunchy and it was bad. He
Yeah,
grabbed good snacks. But, anyways, he was having a blast, right? And then I was like, oh, I am getting a bunch of Korean skincare. Bam, Korean skincare. What do I love? Desserts. Does he love desserts? Sure.
they're cool.
So he loves Japan stuff and Korean stuff. So now we meet in the middle. We're like, we're gonna go for his food. We're gonna go for like my skincare, and then now we kind of meet in the middle. But all of that to say as well that you'll be surprised of how much you'll like things that the other person likes.
Yes, definitely.
For example,
What? Oh,
Gossip
you want me to give you an example?
Gossip Girl. You're supposed to say that.
Oh,
For
so
example,
for example, for an example that I have is Gossip Girl. You know, that
yeah,
she brought up Gossip Girl for the first time, and she was like, "Hey, I want to watch this show again. I kind of want to roll through it. Like, is this a show
yeah,
that you want to watch with me?" And to be completely honest with you guys, I was like, "Absolutely not! Like,
yeah.
I do not want to watch a show about
He was so
girls
against it.
gossiping. Like what? No, no, thank you." And I gave it a shot, and
He loved it.
it's cool.
He loved it.
It's
Yeah, he
cool.
doesn't want to admit it. He was sad when it finished too, because we
It's
just
cool.
finished like 2 days ago. I'm
Yeah,
still trying to get over it. It was my second time watching it. I think I'm watching it a third time.
it was a good show. So, and that's a
It's an
lot
amazing
coming
show.
from me, to be honest.
Okay.
It is.
But,
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's
but
not a show that I normally watch. So
it was really good. And if you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it. Or if you have a girlfriend or somebody you're trying to holler at, be like, have you ever watched Gossip Girl?
you're trying to. That's the pickup line.
Like,
It's
yeah.
like, I'll be your Chuck.
Yeah. So, needless to say. Anyways, but yeah, I wanted to add a little 2 more cents to the trust thing. And this is something that he actually taught me. And it was a problem. A problem shared is a problem halved.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
that goes a long way. So if you have something that you've been keeping from another person and not like an intentional thing, but you feel like you can't share it, or you also grew up with the same mentality as me, you should try to tell that person. And then you're going to be like, whoa. It's like, imagine like a big ball. And now it's like, you only have half of the ball. Like, whoa, I can do this. So I think that. And then also, you and how you can identify how you can trust somebody is you can trust a lot of people with big things, because big things, a lot of people are there for those things, because it's
Yeah.
kind of, let's say, it's something that everybody knows, or something that everybody can do the big things.
Yeah, so attention grabber.
Yeah. So yeah. Attention grabber.
Yeah.
Okay. But the small things are what people really need sometimes, if they're
Mm.
having like one bad day and they want some ice cream. I don't know. You'll be able to see. But the last thing is how important, and how did it make our relationship better from knowing our love languages?
Knowing your partner's love language
Yeah.
is kind of, how can I put it into words? Like the building blocks almost. Like being able to know your partner's love language is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, my love language is physical touch. And so like her just doing that, I'm like, yeah. But it's filling up my love bucket. So
Yeah.
if I'm having a bad day or I just feel down, it's easy for her because all she has to do is just hug me.
I'm like, yeah.
That's it. That's it. And I feel fantastic. So if she didn't know that was my love language and she thought maybe it was like acts of service, then I wouldn't feel loved. Not
Yeah.
her doing things wouldn't, make me appreciate her, but it's just kind of like,
I don't feel
if
loved.
yeah, it's like that's not what I need right now. I just need a hug. Like hug me,
Hug
dog.
me, bro.
Dog,
Where's my
hug me.
hug at? Ew.
Where's my
That's
hug at
what
though?
that's the kind of kid Juan was in high school. The
No,
kid
don't even cap.
he
What do
was
you
a
mean?
kid of where's my hug at?
That was not me. She's lying. Don't let her sit here and
He
lie to you
was he
guys.
was a physical. I had never thought about that right
That
now.
was not me.
But yeah, anyways, to say is you should also know your own love languages. Do some research about what you like to receive and how you give love to other people. For me, is I like receiving it by words. If he's telling me you're doing great, you're whatever, whatever. I feel loved, and I feel like great on top of the world. So like, let's say whenever we're playing Mario Kart and he's not playing, or even when he is playing, I'm like, babe, tell me I'm doing good. Because if he does not say it, I'll get 10th place. He tells me I'm doing good, I first place or second place. That's how that always works.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. And I'm like, wow, I'm doing great. But yeah, so I think, and also knowing how you give love for me is I like doing with acts of services or gift giving. Gift giving was like really big one for me, but then I was like, okay, I need to stop this because I need to try to use my words, or try to whatever. But yeah, but if I were to just do a lot of acts for Juan, and it was like that at the beginning where I would do a lot of things for him, not like that, but I was doing a lot of things for him. He was like, "Oh, great, thanks, babe. I appreciate that." And then it wasn't until later in our relationship, I was like, we should figure out what our love language is. And then I found out that his was touch, and I was like, oh. And then here I am. I'm like, I don't want to hug right now, bro. Like, I don't want to be holding hands right now. And it's nothing personal to him. It's just not how I am, right? But with that, it's like he feels like I'm rejecting him. So I try to do like even small things. I'm like, babe, I may not feel so great right now, but I will touch you all day. Or I'll try to hold your hand, for like little bits of times, or like whatever.
It does go a long way though.
Yeah.
The small things like that, like just the small little stuff.
Yeah. So the little things matter. The little things matter, I feel like, a lot more sometimes than the big things. So yeah.
1,000,000%.
That was another tip of advice, y'all, if you didn't catch that. The small things go a long way. But yeah, that is going to be it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, you were entertained. Maybe you laughed. I hope you keep having a great, beautiful rest of your day and have a fantastic week. I love you. We love you. And yeah, that's it, guys. Love y'all.
Have a blessed day, guys.
Bye,
Catch
y'all.
y'all on the next one.